Watch that scene.
Watch that scene. What is it? Oh, we're live.
We're live. You
Here's
sang
what-
that really well, Liz. You should do it for
here's
the
what-
audience.
Okay, let's do it. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Dancing queen,
Young and
and
sweet.
sweet, only 17.
17. You can dance.
You can jive.
Having
the time of your life.
See that girl.
See that girl.
Watch that
Watch
scene.
that scene. Give it the dancing queen. Yay! Perfect opening, right? It's a perfect opening for Anita Moorjani. Yay!
So here we are, live. Thank you, Autumn.
Here we are live with New York Times bestseller and fabulous dancing queen herself, Anita Moorjani. Yay! And if you're tuning in, please let us know from where in the comments. We can see your comments. We can see Erica. And so we are here today, keeping it fun, keeping it light, keeping it joy-filled. And we are going to talk about something pretty serious. First of all, just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Liz Dawn, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Celebrate Your Life Events. Been doing that for 30 years, creating spiritual conferences and retreats and women's events. And I've been having Anita Moorjani on our stage for, I've lost count, but I want to say like 12 or 13 years, maybe?
Yes, probably at least 11 years. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, yes.
When Wayne Dyer introduced me to you, and I was like, oh, this woman has to be at Celebrate Your Life.
And I remember the first time I was there, and you actually said, welcome to Celebrate Your Life. This is your virgin event.
That's right. She was a virgin speaker at Celebrate Your Life at that time. Oh, well, it's wonderful to have a conversation with you today. And for those of you that tuning in, we're going to have a very, very, very special conversation with Anita. And we're going to talk about how to get through these chaotic and turbulent times that we are experiencing right now. Or rather, why don't we just say that everybody else is experiencing it, but we're being very zen. So, Anita, talk to us about like what's happening out there, how you're staying centered, and what's been working for you. And we'll take some questions if any of you have any questions.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'd love to get questions. But so there's a number of things. Right now, I'm actually writing my next book, and I'm loving what is coming through for me. Because, you know, when I'm writing, I feel as though I'm channeling. But that is really helping me to stay centered, because I'm feeling that this is a time, even though it feels really turbulent, for those of you who are super sensitive and empathic, this is the perfect time for you to tune in to what the universe really wants. Because here's what's happening. The reason why it feels turbulent is because more and more people are waking up, and more of us are being forced to wake up. We're being forced to actually grow and evolve. We're being forced to love more and to see what really matters. And because the world was not created with highly empathic, intuitive, sensitive people in mind, it is being shaken up. I often talk about sensitivity, empathy, like being an empath, as being on a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, you have the extreme empaths, intuitive, sensitive people. And usually the people that come to events, who read books like mine and come to events like yours, Liz, are on the high end of the sensitivity side of the empath scale. And then as you go down the scale, you have the people that are not really, you know, into spirituality, and they just get on with their days. And then at the other end, you have what I call the ruthlessness end of the scale, where you have the people who are just in this world to get what they can. their way of operating is more ruthless, and they have a love for power. So at one end, you have the people super sensitive who do things for the sake of love and kindness. And at the other end, you have the people who do things to gain power, and they're more ruthless. And everybody falls somewhere along that scale. Now, the world has been created by the people who have a love for power, for the people who have a love for power, because they are the loudest voices. They are the ones that we all listen to, and we happen, the way the system is created, we happen to reward the least sensitive and the most ruthless among us by giving them positions of power. We also attribute those traits as being strengths, whereas we attribute traits like sensitivity, empathy, compassion, kindness as weaknesses. We tell people who have those traits, you're not going to get very far in life. And especially if they're men, if they're male, it's even more so. It's even harder for them to show their emotion and cry, because that's considered a weakness. And because we've considered those traits a weakness, we've created a very imbalanced world. But now the people on the empathy side are starting to wake up. More and more people are waking up and saying, hey, wait, we've allowed these guys to take advantage of us for so long. We're living in a world that we've allowed them to create and run amok with. And so people are starting to wake up, and that is what we're seeing. We're seeing the ruthless end of the spectrum fighting back even harder to hold on to the world that serves them and the reality that serves them. So it's not a bad thing what's happening. And it's something that's, if it doesn't happen, if we don't wake up, if we don't start to speak out about, and start to say, hey, this is happening, you guys are doing this, we're not going to take it anymore. It's not that it only started happening now, it's that people are waking up now. And that's what is a good thing. We're waking up to it now.
I love that perspective, because we're basically saying, so those of us, and how many of you consider yourselves empath? And we can see all of your comments, and I see someone from Israel, Manishma. I also see someone from France, bonsoir, from Spain, hola, from Athens. I don't know how to say hello in Greece, but hello, everyone. It's wonderful to have you here. And if you want to kind of drop it in the comments, do you resonate with what Anita is talking about being more empathic, or are you more towards the power side? And I would guess that if you're here, you're more towards the empathic side. But what's happened, at least in the 30 years that I've been studying spirituality, that I've been representing, all of these wonderful authors and teachers in the personal development spiritual arena, is that you are correct, Anita, is that there, and it seems to be happening even with the younger generation, which I love, standing up and saying, no, I am sensitive. I am an empath. I have had trauma in my life, and it's okay for me to be on this healing trajectory now and this process that I'm doing. So we're allowing ourselves to be those sensitive, sentient beings. That is really the truth of who we are, right?
Yes.
It's the heart and center. So so when you talk about the people in power and people who are more empathic, can you tell us like where the difference is about where they lead from?
So
heart,
the difference,
head,
yeah, that's a great question. So the people who we seem to see as being strong and who we put into positions of power are people who seem to come across as very highly competitive, needing to win at all costs. And there are reasons for this. We've been fed narratives that are not true. We've been fed a narrative. I'll give you one example. We've been fed a narrative, for example, that war keeps us safe, that fighting against other countries, that our country, our government is doing that to protect us. That's actually a lie. That's not from the perspective of the afterlife, from the perspective of the soul. That is a lie. And when you buy into that narrative, you want a leader who is a warring leader. In actuality, war does not keep you safe. War comes from fear, but what actually keeps you safe is love. Instead of, for example, instead of spending trillions of dollars on nuclear weapons to be able to obliterate other countries, which again, we're being told that, oh, we need these nuclear weapons to protect us from other countries. If you had a different kind of power, if a different kind of traits were elevated into power, we would not need war. Power would be the ability to actually help and uplift other people so that they don't fight us, they don't attack us. It would mean having the ability to feed countries, lift countries out of poverty. And all those resources that we are using in nuclear weapons would go towards uplifting and helping people so that you are seen as more like a savior rather than someone to be feared. But
I
it
love that.
starts, yeah. So it starts at the very root level. It starts from each of us as an individual, because people are probably thinking that's true as a lofty idea, but what can I do as an individual person? The first thing is to realize that your sensitivity, your empathy, your compassion, your kindness is a strength, not a weakness. That's the first thing. Realize that. The second thing is to realize that you, as an empathic, kind individual who's conscious, who's aware of raising your consciousness, who loves to help people, you deserve to have a loud voice. And you have a purpose here. Most people who fall on that empath end of the scale, we quiet our voices. We stand in the background. We're too afraid to come forward and say, hey, this is how it should be. Hey, we're afraid to raise our voices and be heard. But if we realize that now is the time, the empaths of the world, the sensitives of the world, the compassionate of the world, are the people of our future. You are going to take us out of the brink of our own extinction. You need to step up and be the louder voices now. And we need, we need the power of love to overtake the love for power. So we need for people to really value that, the love and the compassion, and we need those voices to be louder. And it starts with us as individuals.
I can just hear some people listening to this conversation and rolling their eyes and going, yeah, but what about all the people with the wars and they're fighting and the anger and the violence? But it also takes being in cooperation with community. So Can you imagine, let's imagine for a second, we're in cooperation in community with other countries that we might be at odds with, and we're trusting those leaders and they're trusting us. Right? That we might not necessarily be current allies with. Imagine how different things would be in this utopian place where we could actually create peace and love and come from the heart, come from the soul's truth, right? Come from that wisdom. I mean, that's amazing, Anita.
And also, I just want to say that if you were to meet people from these different countries who, if you're watching the news, you're like, yeah, it's great, they're going into war with that country or whatever. But when you actually meet civilians, people, whether it's school kids or mothers or fathers or people going to work, they're no different from you and me. Like the world over, everybody wants the same thing. It's the leaders, it's the people in power who are the ones creating and feeding us a narrative in many cases that's not true. And so my point is the change is not going to come from them. It has to come from us. Nobody is too small. Nobody is too insignificant. And what you said about community is spot on. It's about us as people coming together and saying, we've had enough of that. And that's already happening, which is why we're seeing this turmoil. This is why, because people no longer want that anymore. So we just have to.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then the final piece I want to say is that the way that it happens and the reason why they can get away with it is an old trick is divide and conquer. We are being divided. We are seeing these other people as enemies, that we need to stop seeing other people of whatever nation they're from as enemies. Because the more that we have an us and them, oh, they are the enemies. Oh, we don't want them in our country. Oh, that race, they're a bunch of lazy things, or they're crooks. No, it isn't. That's exactly what they want us to do and feel. So once we're divided, it's very easy to control everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's where, yes, 100%. Can you all resonate with that in terms of that's where the control comes from, if we're all at odds, if we're all fighting? And I love what you said, Adrienne, to echo about community is so important. And I think that's why,
Exactly.
honestly, I have loved what I have been doing for 30 years. I have been the behind the scenes. I am the behind the scenes person who brings all of these beautiful wisdom keepers together for retreats and conferences. And I love what happens in the space. I mean, doing classes online is great. This is great for, a touch point to meet all of you online that we wouldn't be able to maybe otherwise. But and when I say I mean my team of people, and this has really been given to me by God, by the universe, Celebrate Your Life events, to bring people together in community, to bring like-minded people, to have thought-provoking conversations in a supportive, loving environment with a teacher, like you're on this side of me, like Anita Moorjani, to sort of guide us through that journey. So I'm going to do just a quick segue for everyone who's here right now. I do want you to know that we are doing a beautiful healing journey with Anita in one of her favorite places in the world. Believe it or not, that is Sedona, Arizona. So we will be doing an event with a retreat, a very intimate, sacred, high vibe, healing journey retreat with Anita in the beauty of the energy of the vortexes in Sedona on July 30th through August 2nd in Sedona. And Danny, if you could bring up that banner, that would be great. There's the URL, and I'm going to post the URL in the comments as well. And for all of you that are listening right now, I'm offering a $200 discount when you enter the code Anita200. So give me just one little second here. I'm typing this in. It would help if I could type. I have a Band-Aid on my finger, so I keep hitting the wrong key.
And
so here is, I believe the URL is /Anita, if I'm correct. Actually, I think that URL is incorrect. Hold on one second and I'll tell you in just one little minute if that is correct.
We can always add it later at the end, the written URL.
Yeah, but it's super important that when you're going through your life, when you're just kind of, it is Sedona. Danny is correct. I was wrong. It's /Sedona. But if you enter the code Anita200, you will get a $200 discount off of the registration price. Hi, Roz. So that is correct. It's celebrateyourlife.com /Sedona. And Anita, did you want to share a little bit about what you'll be doing at the retreat and what people can expect, or do you want me to tell people? Yeah. Because I've taken the retreat and I loved it.
Okay, I'll start as to what I plan to do and why I love doing these retreats and why it's important. So I think what Liz, what you touched on about community, that is so important, because it's by coming together as community that we can really bring our energies together and actually make a shift in the world. Because what is really underestimated and what most people don't really think of is that our energy is very, very powerful. We can use our energy to actually change the world. So when you feel like, oh, I'm just one person, I'm insignificant, no, that's actually not true, because your energy is extremely powerful. And when you come together with other like-minded people, you actually create something that's even more powerful. And what I love about coming together with people and about sharing energy and consciously doing journeys where our energy expands, not only does it actually uplift ourselves, our own lives, and help to heal the cells in our bodies, it also helps towards the planet, because we are all connected. Energetically, we're connected. And that's how we can actually affect change in the planet. Without having to go out and fight against the powers that be, we can actually shift, because people, the next level of people, will feel like when you go back home after a retreat or after even being with community, whether it's my retreat or something else, when you're with community and you're able to enhance your energy, and then you go back to your old life, people feel it. People around you get uplifted. And that's how we spread that throughout the world. So now is the time more than ever for people to come together in communities like this, conscious communities, where we are not only uplifting ourselves and the cells in our body so that we can be healthier and stronger, but also contributing to the world in a bigger way, because the world needs people like you.
Yes. And I know, Anita, Danny, if you could pop that banner up again so people have the URL. You are correct. It's celebrateyourlife.com/Sedona. And what I love about this retreat, you're spending 4 days with Anita. She's taking you through these very, very, very deep journeys. She talks so much about her own near-death experience and her healing that she had during that, how she moved through all of the pain in her life. And she talks about you really talk about, which I love, is how that really manifested for you, how you really created that and just stepped into this blissful state of love, and your body just followed, which is really a miracle healing.
Thank
So
you.
we're doing this beautiful Sedona summer retreat. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And Anita takes you through these very in-depth meditation and journeys she does one where you actually get to connect with any deceased loved ones, which is one of my favorite exercises that you do. And then you connect with other people from all over the world who actually come to the event. So please come join us. No one ever walked away from an Anita Moorjani retreat saying, damn, I wish I didn't do that. It's always like, this was transformational. I have so many. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Anita. I have all these feedback forms and letters that people send us. I should send them to you, that people share about what their experiences have been and the transformational experiences that they have in their lives after doing the retreat. And it's really magnificent. And I'm always honored to be such a part of that, a little part of that, of just bringing the party together. And then Anita works her magic.
Wow. Thank you.
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. It's true.
And so I appreciate that. And I just wanted to say about the journeys, there are 3 key things I do. Number 1 is focused on healing the cells in your own body, no matter what challenges you're going through, where you can intuit what it is your body really wants or is trying to tell you. The second thing is connecting with deceased loved ones and getting messages from them. And the third thing is finding your purpose in life. Those are the 3 key areas that I focus on. And one other thing I wanted to address about my near-death experience itself is that a lot of people say that, oh, but I've already heard her story. The thing is that it's not about the story of my near-death experience. The near-death experience, when you cross over, it's not a destination, it's a doorway. And once you walk through that doorway, your life becomes different. It's like you're walking down a different path. And that door never closes, and you can keep walking down it. And the more fearless you are, the deeper you go. And the rest of your life, you are walking down that doorway, which you have not been walking down had you not had the near-death experience. So there is always stuff to teach and share. But not only that, one of my missions is to help people to find that doorway without having to die themselves.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you do. And you do it so beautifully. I've participated in all of the exercises. And one of the other things that I absolutely love that you teach is about energy equity. And it's something that I'm using in my own life now. When I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, where's my energy equity bank? And you have to come to the retreat to find out what this is. But it's a fantastic exercise that you use in your everyday life to kind of go throughout your daily world, thinking, okay, what am I spending my energy on? Things that support me or things that deplete me? So do you want to say just a couple of minutes, just a couple of sentences about that? Because we do need to sign off soon. But please
Yes.
share a little bit about energy equity.
So one of the things I like to teach people is to see your energy as a currency, and when you give it a currency, it's like, let's say, a good night's sleep gives you 10 units of energy. Then you have to ask yourself, where do I want to spend that energy? And if you're doing activities in your day that you hate, like let's say you go to a job you hate, you're in a bad relationship, at the end of the day, you're completely depleted of energy. But if you're doing things you love, you can build up energy equity. And so we make you do exercises to experiment with that, to see, first of all, you check in with yourself. Are you in energy deficit or are you in energy equity? Then we look at things that you're doing in your life to see whether you are raising energy equity or whether you are actually going into energy debt, into deficit. So we talk about that. And then one of the big key things that causes you to have energy deficit is saying yes to things you don't want to do. But we go into that really deeply during the retreat.
And learning how to say no to the things that you
Yes,
don't want, right?
exactly.
Anyway, please come join us. I know that you will have an absolutely beautiful time. And we've got that $200 discount code. It's Anita 200. And Danny, if you would flash that banner up on the screen one more time. The website is celebrateyourlife.com/Sedona. And we're offering this discount code only until May 2nd for all of Anita's fans and subscribers, Anita 200. And it is worth every single moment that you will spend with us. It's life-changing, truly life-changing. One of my favorite events. And spending time with Anita Moorjani.
And I get to have fun with Liz Dawn.
And there's always Dancing Queen. Dancing Queen will
Yes.
definitely be played. We'll definitely be dancing. So, all right. Thank you so much, Anita. And thank you all so much for joining us today and taking time out of your day to be with Anita Moorjani. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, everyone, whoever tuned in. Hope to see you soon.
Yes. Bye.